Hello. If you're watching this video, you're probably someone either looking into ToyHouse or somebody who already has a profile but needs assistance setting it up. If either of those are the case, you're in the right place. If you stumbled upon this and aren't familiar with ToyHouse, then let me explain real quick. ToyHouse is a website that's been around since 2014. It's a website primarily used for posting your own original characters, though people also sell, trade, and give away characters on the site as well. The website is currently invite only due to a small moderation team, but we'll get more into that in a bit. I recently decided to make a ToyHouse account, and I struggled a lot with setting it up. It literally took me like 8 hours to figure everything out. While other tutorials out there exist, many of them assume you're familiar with ToyHouse or using HTML code already, which I was not. So it gave me the idea to make a tutorial for people like me who didn't understand a single thing about the website beforehand. This is basically the ultimate tutorial for my fellow dum-dums, and if you still have more questions after this, feel free to comment and I'll try my best to help you. Before we start, I do want to give a quick disclaimer that this tutorial is directed towards people who have a PC or a laptop. As while ToyHouse technically works on mobile, it's pretty clear the site is intended to be used with a computer. It is much easier to manage from a computer, and a lot of the things I'm going to get into during this video are either extremely annoying or straight up impossible to try and do on mobile. So keep that in mind as you navigate the website. There are also some terms you'll have to get familiar with as you navigate the site. WYSIWYG, it means what you see is what you get, where what you type is exactly what will be shown when you post it. For this video, you're going to want to keep that off, and it should already be off by default. When you have it off, you're able to input this fancy thing called HTML code, which is what this tutorial will be focusing on because it helps with a lot of cool customization shit. There are some other terms as well, such as FTU or F2U, which means free to use. PTU or P2U means pay to use. They both just mean that whatever you're looking at is either free or requires money to use. There's a few more terms if you want to use ToyHouse for the character selling side, but I don't really interact with that side of ToyHouse, so I'm not really the person to learn about. This is more so just generally how to set up your account, how to make things look pretty. Now, to begin, let's explain how you even make an account. When you go to the website, you may notice it asks for a code on the page to register. The reasoning for this is due to the fact that ToyHouse has a very, very small mod team. The only source on exactly how many mods ToyHouse has I could find states there's only one person managing the website. Which makes why the site is still invite only 11 years later make much more sense. If any random person can join and make as many accounts as they wanted, it would be much more difficult and expensive to manage. Running a website costs money, and while it may be manageable to run a site that can withstand a couple thousand people online at much, it'd be much more difficult and expensive to handle tens of thousands of people online at once. However, getting a code is actually rather easy, as users who pay for the premium version of ToyHouse, which is $25 a year, get 2 invite codes every week. And since the vast majority of people don't have hundreds or thousands of friends to be giving these codes out to, many of them will just give these codes away. I personally found my code by just searching ToyHouse code on Tumblr and finding a post of someone just giving away a bunch of codes. They still update this post regularly with new codes, so I'll have their account linked in the description. Once you get your account made, you'll see a page that looks like this. This is the home page, where you'll see a bunch of characters. These are just random characters people have made. You'll also notice a little bar at the top, and that's what we're going to be focusing on for now. On the far left, you'll see the name of the site, ToyHouse. Clicking on this just takes you back to the home page. Next to it is the profile button. Pressing this will take you to your profile, which is completely blank right now. We'll get to that later. Then there's the forums button, which leads to a bunch of useful forums where you can talk to other ToyHouse users and get involved in the community. After that is the browse button. You can use this as a search feature. When you press the search, you'll notice a bunch of boxes such as character, HTML, resources, and ads all checked. There are different categories of posts people make, and you can uncheck them depending on what specifically you're looking for. If you're trying to find someone's page, you can leave it as is and type their username on the owner name part, which will then show you the characters that have them listed as the owner. The next button is the submit button, where you can post your characters and art. There's a variety of things you can submit, though this tutorial is mostly going to focus on the characters and images section. All the way on the far right, you'll see your username next to your profile picture, which will likely be blank if you just made your account. If you hover over your username, you'll see a bunch of different options, like going to your profile, going to your characters, checking your inbox, your settings, and then a bunch of options to manage your posts. When you click on your settings, you'll be directed to your general settings, where you can edit your username, email, password, date of birth, and your profile picture. There's a lot of different settings you can explore once you get more comfortable with the site, but for now, this list on screen are the only settings we're going to really be messing with. You can just set your profile picture as any square image you want, so once you have your profile picture set, you're pretty much good for now. Now, to set up your actual profile, we're going to ignore profile CSS because you can only use CSS with premium. But profile content is where you can make your bio. If you want something like I have, you'll need a second tab open on your computer to open ToyHouse again. Go to Browse and click Search. Now unselect everything but HTML and search user code in the tag section. You can go through the results until you find a template you like. The template will likely either say free to use or pay to use. Many of these users will have a Ko-Fi or something you can download the template as a text file from. I personally have Purple Night by FreezePop88 for my profile, so that's the example I'll show how to use. Now once you download the code or just get it copied from a paste bin, you'll want to paste it into the area in your settings that says profile content. Notice the top that says background image, icon image, etc. Well, if you right click an image and press copy image address, you can input images into these HTML codes. You can technically do this with the background and other images, but I really like this template as is, so all I'm changing is the icon image. In order to get an image address of your profile picture specifically, you need to go back to your settings, to general settings, and right click on your avatar to copy image address. Then just go back to the code, delete the text in front of icon image, and paste the image address. There's this little area where you can link specific characters you like over there by pasting the image address like I just taught you how, and then pasting the link to that character's page. I personally don't have this set up on my account yet because I still haven't added the characters I want displayed into ToyHouse yet. Scrolling a bit down, you'll see where to add these social links that were shown here. For this part, you'll also need the use of another website called FontAwesome, which I will have linked below along with all the resources used in this video. The part of the code that begins with ahref is where you're supposed to input the link to whatever social media you have. If there's one on here you don't have, you can simply delete it or change it to a different platform. If you go into FontAwesome and go to brands, you can find symbols for pretty much any major brand or social media platform. When you click on the symbol you want, it will show you exactly what to type to add that symbol. Since this preset already has a symbol in, you can just delete the middle area and change it to be whatever your symbol should be. Then you just change the names of the social media platforms to match what platform you're actually on. Then voila, you made little buttons that link to your socials. Further down in the code, you'll see the code for this area. For the most part, you just erase the answers and fill them in with your own info. But you'll notice there are flags for the gender and sexuality part. These are with the help of another user known as LostLights, who created a large collection of pride flags you can put in your profile. All you need to do is change the title to what your sexuality or gender is, and then ahead on that part that says IMGSCR, erase what's inside it and replace it with the image addresses of the flags that apply to you. If you only have one sexuality rather than two, simply delete the second section. After that is the message that appears in the second box. All you need to do for this is erase the original message and fill it with yours instead. The stuff after that is built-in credits for the original creator of the code, which show up here on the profile. On ToyHouse, it's generally considered rude to remove these as they're out of the way and simply give credit to the original coder. So don't mess with these. Press update profile and then you're done. Your profile's done. It's made. Once you're finished with your profile, you may want to immediately get started on adding characters. However, there's something else rather simple and straightforward we must do first. This is creating folders for your characters. Folders can be very useful, especially if you're someone with a lot of OCs. I like to make little folder covers like this that just say what the folder is before I make the folder. At the time of making this video, I currently only have 2 folders, one for creepypasta OCs and one for any sort of supernatural OC. I'm still in the process of getting all my main OCs ToyHouse ready, so excuse the small amount right now. But once you have the cover for your folder made, you'll have to go hover over your username and this time go to folders under the manage section. Then you just press create folder, choose your thumbnail, name it, and then it's created. Now that you got the folder you need to put your characters in ready, it's time to finally get on to how putting characters into the site works. Under the submit section, you'll notice you can submit images or characters, but the site won't let you submit art of a character before you actually have said character as a character on your profile. Now you can go to submit and press character. First, you'll need to submit a profile picture for them. It doesn't matter what size it is because the site will let you crop it into a square. When you scroll down a bit, there's a text box where you can insert some code to make a pretty character page like the one I have here. You can find these codes pretty similarly to finding the profile code. Open a second tab on ToyHouse, go to search, make it exactly like before, but search character code this time. The code I like to use is by Circle Journey, so that's the example I'll be going by. For the most part, it's the same as before. You fill out the blanks with your character's info. For ones that require an image of your character, you can easily use an image you already have posted on somewhere such as Instagram or Tumblr by right-clicking on it and copying its image address like we've already gone over. For the relationships part of the character sheet, it does require an image of whoever you're adding, so you can do what I just did to add it. This character sheet already automatically crops the image for you. The only part I feel truly needs more elaboration after we already went over the profile code is that we haven't gone over these little bars yet, which a lot of these character sheet codes tend to have. Once you get down to this area, you'll see an area that says width and then there's a percentage. Changing the number of that percentage will make these bars longer or shorter, so just edit the percentages until you're happy, and then you're basically done. You've successfully used HTML to customize your ToyHouse without needing to know a single line of code. I truly do hope this tutorial was helpful. I'm still working on improving my abilities to do tutorials, and a million big life things happened all at once these past few weeks, so things have been really crazy with me. Though I sincerely hope this video helped you, and if you like my content, please consider checking out the videos shown at the end card. I've also created a 16+ Discord server for anyone with any sort of creative hobby. We accept artists, writers, coders, graphic designers, musicians, and more. We also have a bunch of cool emojis and a fancy server tag, so please consider joining if you like me or my art. Thank you so much for watching, and I sincerely hope you have a wonderful day or night.